Welcome to the Albert and Billy Show, everyone. Here on WUAT Radio and, of course, BTC Fiber TV, channel 18. And also check out BTC Fiber YouTube page. Getting really close to 1,000 subscribers now. We've been promoting that pretty hot and heavy the last couple months, and thank you guys for responding. Appreciate that. It's last time I looked anyway, it was 900 and something, so it's a getting there, that's for sure. So thank you, folks, but keep it up. Keep doing it. Yeah,
that'll be a major breakthrough if we get that.
It is. It does. It helps a lot, and we're painfully close, so. And you'll notice we do have a guest with us today. Her name is Miss Courtney Cunningham Lynch. She is running, for the DA, District Attorney's Office. Yeah, a big one. And of course, we'll tell you all about that in a few minutes. And she'll get to play trivia with us, Papa. She'll be my lifeline this week. I always gotta have a lifeline, that's for sure. We want to wish a happy birthday, though, folks. We got a few announcements before we get into that. Do want to wish a happy birthday to my mom, Vicky Smith. Happy birthday, Mama. I done told you that, of course.
She was 50. She was at least 50.
Right, yeah, right.
I was there when she was born.
Right. And Dawn Daniels. Happy birthday to Dawn Daniels. These were both yesterday, and just in case I missed Saturdays, on the 11th, we had several. Happy birthday, belated birthday to Cindy Swafford, pal now. Roy Pankey. And Mindy Smith, my stepsister. My gosh, what is it? It's kind of weird. But anyway, happy birthday. Hope all you guys had a great birthday.
You'll be at her house Sunday. You better mention her.
Yeah, I know it. Well, Papa and Courtney, we got a first annual event here. It's called Thunder on the Mountain. It's going to be at the Fall Creek Falls Volunteer Fire Department, where they have that real good breakfast that hopefully Papa's going to be talking about.
I'll tell you about that.
So please come. They're asking for your support. We remind you guys all the time, it's a local fire department. It's volunteer. So anytime you support an event like this, you're doing something really good, because these people are putting their lives on the line for free. So that's why we like to give them recognition and all the help we can possibly give them, because it is to raise money to supply things needed to help keep their community safe out at Fall Creek Falls. They'll have hamburgers, cheeseburgers, hot dogs, fries. We also have water and sodas available for purchase, and we will have a motorcycle ride fundraiser. I'm telling you, I do believe it's what we was talking about, Ethan. This is not the first time I've heard of this.
But it says first.
I know I'm crazy, but ain't that crazy? It says first annual, but man, it sounds really familiar, like to an event that used to be here right here in downtown Pikeville. But I could be wrong, but I do know that it involved motorcycles too. But anyway, they'll have family-friendly entertainment. It'll include games for all ages. Live bands will be performing to entertain you all day and night. You can schedule registration and the price. Let's see, the motorcycle registration is 9 a.m. until the ride, which begins at 10 a.m. $20 plus $10 each for an additional rider, and food starts at 11 a.m. To 1 p.m. and music will begin at 2 p.m. and they do say to bring your own chair. But we'll talk about that as it's pretty close, but we'll talk about that again next week. It's July the 2nd, and once again, it kicks off at 9 a.m. that morning. I wonder if they have a breakfast plan for that. That'd be smart if they did.
They've got it on the 25th.
Oh, okay. Well, that's smart, too. You got two weekends. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. This one is the Rigsby Volunteer Fire Department. So we have another fire department that is having a fundraiser, because once again, they're volunteer folks. This one is June the 25th, so this will be a week from tomorrow. They're going to have barbecue, baked beans, potato salad, dessert, and a drink, all for $10. They'll have raffles, and all proceeds go to the Rigsby Volunteer Fire Department, which once again is for a very good cause. Well, I could have. Well, no point mentioning that one because it's probably over, or close to being over. It started at 1. I might be done with mine, Papa. Let me see. It'd be nice. Well, no, I got one. Hopefully, just one more. Okay, 2 more. 2 more. All right. Vacation Bible School at Ebenezer Baptist Church. That's going to be June 26th to July the 1st. And also the Bargain Basement. They'll be open tomorrow, June the 18th. Does that say 7? No, 9 a.m. I was about to say what? But it's on 7 Methodist Street. I was like, man, they're starting early. It's at the Methodist Church, though. So
you want to put that in there.
It's definitely at the United Methodist Church. It's sponsored by the United Methodist Women, and it will be from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. So that is tomorrow. And dang, this is the last one. It's your turn, Papa. Cold Springs Baptist Church are selling pre-order meals. You can call them, I'm sure. What's going to be on Sunday, June 26th. That's next weekend, right? Plates will consist of pulled pork, mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, green beans, roll and drink, all for $12 for adults, $6 for kids. To order, call Carla at 423-645-5299 or Leslie at 423-827-5699. But you got to call them by June the 24th. All right, Papa, it's your turn.
All right, we've got a
That's a mouthful.
tomorrow morning at the Mount Crest Fire Hall.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be, you can eat eat breakfast from 6 to 10, 4
Cool.
hours.
Oh, so you...
And then it just costs you $7.
Yeah.
Can you imagine get to eat for 4 hours for $7?
You would.
They will have on the menu bacon and sausage. They'll have eggs. They'll all be scrambled.
Yeah,
Always.
yeah.
Hash browns, and then they'll
Sounds
have
good.
biscuits to go with that, eggs and gravy and jelly.
Oh yeah, homemade jelly, Michelle
And they
Collier.
will have butter to go on one of your biscuits for that jelly.
Oh
And
yeah,
they'll have milk and coffee and orange juice, we suppose.
they do have orange juice. I think it's just a tradition now not to put it on there.
To be repetitive of what Billy's been saying, this is by the fire department out there at Mount Crest.
Yeah, it's fire department day.
These mountains have the fire departments, and they're there to help us as citizens of Bledsoe County, because it's hard for the fire department here to get to all the areas of this county. This is a pretty good sized county.
Mm-hmm.
Though we only have one town in this county.
Yeah, the county's big.
Yet at the same time, there's a lot of area that's covered.
A lot
And
of
so
communities.
thankfully, these communities have started their own fire department.
Yeah, that was a great idea. I'm way back
proud.
when, it was a good idea.
I'm proud to do. Also, that's tomorrow now.
Mount Crest
Now, the 25th,
is Fall Creek Falls.
there'll be one out at Fall Creek Falls Fire Department.
I like their menu though. It's a little different.
Their menu is different, but
It
you
is.
only get to eat 3 hours, 7 to 2. But here's their menu. Billy and I love this: biscuits and gravy.
Yeah.
That goes together,
It does.
and the eggs go with it,
Yeah.
and the hash browns. But they break precedent here. They give you pancakes and waffles.
Yeah, that's the difference right
And
there.
with
The
that
only
waffle,
one.
you get a fruit topping.
Oh yeah, you can't beat that, folks.
Then they'll have meat. They'll have bacon, sausage,
Mhm.
country ham, fried bologna.
There's that bologna.
You want me to say bologna, don't you? They
I
have
sure do.
fruit and orange juice, coffee, milk, and water. If you are a child under 10, you get to eat
For free.
free. Now the cost will be $10.
Yeah. But it's for a good
It
cause, like we
sounds
said.
like you get a meal worth $10.
Absolutely. I think so,
So we
for
encourage
sure.
you to go to either one of the fire department breakfasts.
Ethan, I'll ask you, is the fan affecting the sound? Okay. Well, Papa, now that we've done these, if you don't care, put it towards us, or it's kind of pointless.
What now?
The fan.
The fan, if you don't care, put it back on us now.
Well,
Since these announcements are done.
now my stuff starts flying everywhere.
Well, can't win for losing, folks. Your stuff is not flying nowhere, by the way.
Well, I'm going to keep it over here instead of putting it over here.
Well, maybe I'll cool down here in a few minutes, but it is hot, folks.
I had on a
don't
long
need to tell
sleeve
people
shirt
that.
earlier.
Well, oh, that would have been crazy.
I talked to a lady last night and told her about my fall, my latest fall, with what I did. And she said, I wear a long sleeve shirt. So I wore a long sleeve shirt to church this morning, thinking I was going to do the Sunday school lesson on television, and the lady didn't show up to film me. So I had that long sleeve shirt on for nothing. So I
Oh, you
took it
burned
off.
up for nothing.
I took it off. I don't care if I
I bet you were burning up.
had on a tie.
Oh my God, that makes me hot just thinking about it. Woo!
So I've got
I
a
couldn't
short
breathe in that today. I'm telling you.
I've got a short sleeve shirt on now.
Yeah, and I don't know. I read something that Bled on him, but well, I done with. What's up with the what was it? In the front page, it talks about some type of vandalism. Did you see that?
Yeah, graffiti.
Yeah. Is it several
He told the
businesses?
different places in town that had been abused by
So it's
their
multiple. Okay.
graffiti. Yeah.
I really wasn't aware of that until I read that. I really wasn't.
I've seen that one on the sales of Lola's place down there. I've seen that on the side of the building.
Oh, they did. That is right. So they've
They're just
done
painting.
several businesses.
There's not been any obscene things that I've seen,
Yes.
but they're
For
just
some
taking
reason,
the
just-
liberty to decorate town.
Yeah, I want to say they done the playground too. One of the playgrounds,
Yeah.
which is not cool at all. I think they might have caught a few of the people involved, hopefully.
They said they had some suspects.
Yeah, well, they're stupid. That's stupid. That's just all there is to it. I know that's blunt and honest, but it's the truth.
As long as you have human nature, you will have vandalism.
Yeah, for some reason. I don't get it, but yeah.
I told you last week,
Mhm.
this old Indian grandfather told his grandson, 12 years old,
Mhm.
you have two wolves inside you. You have the fleshly wolf that's mean. You have the spiritual wolf that's good.
Wow.
And the little boy finally said to his grandfather, well, which wolf wins? He said, the one you feed.
Ooh, wow. You did say that. That's a very good analogy.
Nice.
Say it like that's very true.
Well, the
It's
grandfather
very
was
true.
wise.
He was right. That is very true. Unfortunately, it is. Well, Papa, before we talk to Miss Courtney, as tradition, we gotta have our guest help me with your trivia.
You want the trivia first?
Yeah, she's my lifeline.
I'm afraid I'm not going to be much of a
Well,
lifeline.
we can say the We can say the trivia till the end. We can until the end of her segment. We can do that. That's
that way
a good
if she wants to
idea.
leave, she can.
Well, we'll just start that. Sounds good. We'll wing it, buddy. All right, Miss Courtney Cunningham Lynch, right?
Yes.
So where are you from?
I
We'll
grew
start
up
with
in
that.
Winchester in Franklin County,
Right.
and I graduated from Franklin County High School. I moved back there in 2001 after I got my law degree from Vanderbilt, and
That's impressive.
So
That is impressive.
thank you. My husband and I will have been married 24 years next week,
Wow.
and we have 3 teenagers. So,
Wow.
yeah, Isaac is
God
18.
bless you.
I know, it's like a 3-ring circus at our house. So
Well, you must have started young.
I appreciate that, but not really. So he's 18, and then we have twins, Evan and Olivia, that are 16.
cool,
So
cool.
everybody's driving. That makes it very interesting.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Yes.
3 teens at once.
Yes.
So, I'm assuming, well, talking to you before we started filming, you're very experienced in this profession, obviously, more than capable of doing the job.
I did practice in Winchester. I had like private practice for about 10 years.
Really?
And then I got the opportunity to go to work as an assistant district attorney.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that for about the last decade. And
That's good.
I am not doing that right now while campaigning. But,
True, right?
yeah, so I handled everything from misdemeanors in Sessions Court to homicides in Circuit Court in those
Gosh.
10 years. So.
And that's one extreme to another.
Yes.
That really is.
As a lawyer, are you compelled to take every case that comes to you, or can you turn someone down because of the situation?
When I was in private practice,
Yeah,
when I was in
probably.
private practice, you can pick and choose.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just feel like, you have a personal conflict, whether that's with the person
Yeah.
or, somebody that they're wanting to sue, you might know, or the subject matter. If you just feel like that you can't really do them a good job,
So
then
you excuse yourself.
Mhm.
You're allowed to.
Mhm.
But as
I've-
DA,
probably just
DA.
don't take the case, because you're probably going to
Exactly.
know enough to be like, I'm not going to take your money. You should probably go see so-and-so. But
Yeah. You're guilty. I'm not going to win this case. So hit the road, buddy.
But I'm wondering
you can't
about
do that as a
lawyers.
DA.
I
it'd
wonder
be
about
different.
lawyers.
Right.
If you had to, if you're a court-appointed lawyer,
Mm-hmm.
what do you call those?
Public defender.
Well, they
defender.
have the public defender position, but then sometimes they will have
Mm.
a conflict, or there will be multiple co-defendants that need appointed
Oh,
counsel,
well, true.
and so they can't represent everyone.
So if you have a legal
So then they'll appoint a
reason
private
that
attorney.
you're allowed to step aside.
Yes.
I've
Yeah.
always said though, like I could not be a defense attorney. This is just me, but I couldn't be a defense attorney in a big case like a murder trial or something if I knew in my heart that they were not innocent, they were guilty. And sometimes they'll just tell you, but I couldn't do that.
That
At least-
is hard.
that
I
would
think
be
a lot
really
of
hard.
lawyers struggle with that.
I think they do too.
They
Because
come
they
back
can't
to the
tell the
fact,
privilege, so they
right,
can't tell anything.
that our Constitution entitles them to a fair trial, and they're part of that
Yes.
fair trial, so they're doing their job and doing their best. There are
That
lots
is
of
true.
good
That is
attorneys
true.
here. I personally wanted to do criminal prosecution, district
Yeah,
attorney. I've always
yeah.
been law enforcement centered, and that would be a huge part of my administration, be friendly to law enforcement,
Yeah.
access, communication.
That's what I would want
This
to
is
do.
a perfect
yeah.
story for your all's
Okay.
situation, because I was very, very close to my maternal grandfather.
Really?
And he was in law enforcement for 54 years. He died while on duty still.
Oh,
At
wow.
age 76, working as an investigator for the Franklin County Sheriff's Office. And I think that had a lot to do with me wanting to be a lawyer.
I'm
and
sure.
But especially a prosecutor. I was very close to him.
Absolutely.
And he retired from several jobs, but he and my Nana decided he needed to go back to work, so he just kept going back to work.
Well, he died where he was happiest,
He did.
probably.
He
I mean,
absolutely did.
because
So-
a lot of people
and what a
don't want
blessing
to
to
give
do
it
what you
up.
love to do your
Yeah.
whole life. So
We all want to go out like that, you know.
May I ask you a question?
yes, sir.
The cases you have handled, do you get a sense of satisfaction when you win, and do you feel sorry for the person if you get a bad decision?
For the victim of the crime, do you feel
Oh,
guilty?
yeah.
That is a struggle. I think it's human nature to personalize the case. You try to, at least during the prosecution, maintain some distance. Obviously, you're dealing with victims, and we do have great victim witness coordinators that are
Yeah.
very much more on a personal level with them, but it's impossible to, prepare a case and not feel your personal
Yeah,
feelings
there's no
about
way.
Do you take some of your work home with you?
that. I do.
I'd say
I do.
a lot.
It's hard
Well,
not to.
It's hard.
It's hard with the caseload because there's just not enough hours in the day, but it's also hard for those reasons. You get attached to people,
You
and you
get
understand
involved.
what
You
they've
get-
been through, and
And then after a certain point in time, not every case, but a lot of cases, you probably know, or at least somewhere in the middle, figure out, if they're telling you the truth or not.
Right.
I mean, in a lot of cases, not
Right.
all.
and with victims, it's you're trying to prepare them for the legal aspect
Oh,
of it,
yeah.
as well as their emotions, and that's why those victim witness
Yes.
coordinators are so important. And
Yeah.
also, we always tell victims that when we're getting ready to go to trial, lots of times you know things that you can't prove, and if
I
they
know.
don't get a good verdict, they're not saying they don't believe you. The jury's not
That's
saying
true.
that. They may just be saying we don't have enough proof to prove this to them
That
beyond a
is
reasonable
true.
doubt. They're not saying you're lying.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's really hard. You worry about them internalizing what
Absolutely.
that verdict when it may not have anything to do with
them.
I mean, the
That
proof is
true.
what the proof is. So
Yeah, you have to prove it beyond reasonable doubt, and that's not the easiest thing in the
No,
world to
it's
do. And
No.
well, people don't think about that.
no,
No, one more question.
sure.
I don't usually ask the question. I'll leave that up to Billy.
Well, I'm glad you are.
You're here today in Blissville County.
Yes,
You're from Winchester.
yes.
Franklin County, yep.
Mhm.
What area are you going to be responsible for?
Yeah.
This
good
judicial
question.
district is the 12th judicial district, and it starts on the southern end. We'll start there
Mhm.
because that's where I am in Franklin County, and then Grundy County, Marion, Sequatchie, Bledsoe, and Ray. So there's six counties. So it's
That's
a
a
very
lot.
large geographical area. There are 3
Yes.
offices that service that area.
Okay, I didn't think
Ooh,
you
good.
had 6
Right,
counties by
in one
yourself.
office. No.
That'd
So
be very
there
hard.
is an office in Franklin County. There's one in Marion County, kind of the middle of the district, and then
Yeah.
one in Ray County at the northern end to kind of spread out. And each of
That
those have a
helps.
criminal component, and then also the child support enforcement office as well.
I bet there's a lot of them.
There is a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yes, they have
Yeah.
a huge caseload as well.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure on
They
that.
stay busy.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, well, it's kind of old subject. I don't know if the non-payment of child support is all. I was in law enforcement for years. I don't know if it's always the best thing to put them in jail though, and the reason why is because, well, they can't pay it if they're in jail. You know, I always kind of went back and forth
Right.
on that
There's
issue.
a huge policy issue with that, and I think
Yeah.
the legislature's thinking is at that point that's might be the only way they'll come up with that
Yes,
purge payment if it
yes.
means their freedom. But
Yes.
it's 2 sides to that coin. It's definitely
It
a good
is.
policy.
Like I've seen some people that they're sorry and they needed
Yes.
to be there because they weren't going to pay it. But I saw some that were good people that just really could not afford it at the time, and you could just they didn't belong there.
I'm sure
you
there's
know.
been lots of debate in the
Yeah.
legislature about that policy.
Yeah, that's well, I've heard a lot of people talk
Mm-hmm.
about that actually. And mental illness is a big thing too with jails and sheriff's
Criminal
departments.
and
Yes.
child. Yes.
I think that's a huge problem.
Mm-hmm.
That for whatever reason they don't want to fund mental hospitals.
And right
And
now
that's terrible.
there's a huge press all across the country, but in Tennessee as well, for rehabilitation for alcohol and drug treatment, which is great. And there are some proven methods
good. Yeah, that's good.
do keep people from committing the same
Yes.
crimes, getting in that cycle in and out.
Yes.
However, I think to be really successful, most of the time they need a component for mental health as
They
well.
do.
And I think people are becoming more aware of that. And I know
Yeah.
like we have a recovery court for the 12th Judicial District,
Mm-hmm.
where of course, besides Judge Angel, he's been there before,
Yeah.
and our Chancellor, Missy Willis, but we're getting 2 new circuit judges as well. And
Oh,
I think,
Missy Blevins.
Yes,
She's
uh-huh.
been on here.
Yes, yes.
She's been on here a couple of times.
And,
Hello, Missy.
Yes. They are, of course, unopposed and staying,
Mm-hmm.
but there are 2 new circuit judges coming on, and I think there's been some discussion about the whole mental health part of
Yeah.
whether the existing recovery court, some places have a separate mental health court,
Yeah.
veterans courts, there are all kinds, safe baby courts, there are lots of things that
a lot of
a
people
lot of
don't know
judicial districts do.
I've dealt with, I can relate. I've dealt with a stalker, and I can tell you there's not a lot that they can do for
the
it.
mental health,
Yeah,
Not until the stalker gets the stalkee.
yeah, basically like, and that's not good.
No.
I mean, I'm not criticizing anybody or saying anybody, but it's not good for the person that goes through it. It's not, because there's not a good solution really.
Right.
And that's where they need the mental hospitals come into play. There should be more.
Well, reading between the lines of your discussion between the 2 of you, one of the strong ideas right now that's floating in society is because of all the kids that have been killed in all these shootings. That is
terrible.
one more reason for the mental health issue to be pursued.
It is.
Hopefully.
Because most of the suspects are 9 out of 10 times they are very
Well,
severely mentally ill.
If you can pull the trigger and kill 26 kids,
Yeah,
you got a problem.
Yeah,
And I think as a society, we
Absolutely.
need to look at like the family unit and the things, what is causing these children to have those mental illnesses,
Yes.
that we didn't see these types of
I know.
violent, mass violence from
No.
juveniles, before. I mean, something
before
in our culture and our
Columbine, Columbine kind of kicked it off.
Right.
It seemed like.
Well, I wonder how much, what a part society plays in this, because when I was a kid, all we played was kick the can and hide and go seek.
That's a good thing, though. That's a good thing.
but now you've got all these electronic
That's the problem.
gadgets,
That's the
and
problem.
we don't know what all they're exposed to.
And they're not going to tell you.
Some of what they're exposed to is not healthy.
Absolutely not, and of course they're not going to tell you. So that is the problem, though.
I think that's one of our problems.
It's a big one.
I am like along this line with the rehabilitation, mental health. I am in favor of those methods that have been proven to help.
Yeah.
If for somebody that deserves a second chance.
Yeah,
And I think
yeah.
most people can distinguish between your career criminal drug dealer and your
Yes.
young street level addict
Yeah.
in their early 20s. And
Yes.
if we can intervene in that person's life,
Yeah, that
we're
would
not
be
just
great.
helping them
Yeah.
and their family, but we're helping society as a whole.
It is
We're
true.
not paying for their incarceration in and out of
Exactly.
jail.
Exactly.
Their children in foster care.
Yeah.
And the crimes, hopefully we're preventing the crimes that they would
They
commit
would
in
be-
the future to
Exactly.
support that addiction.
Yes, lot of theft, lot of theft.
Right. So I'm for second chances. Where we run into
Absolutely.
trouble is when we swing too far the other way, like we have on the
Absolutely.
whole mental health issue, nowhere to put people. If we swing too far that way,
Yes.
it's not third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. We want people to be accountable.
Exactly.
so-
I like that. So you just gain even more respect from me on that,
Thank
because
you.
that is the truth. And
Yes.
there does need to be more. Now, so you ran the Republican primary unopposed.
Yes.
So, what the general election is
August 4th.
August 4th.
It's on a
Yours
Thursday.
early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's on a Thursday.
Won't be long.
It's
No.
not really that far
No,
away,
it's
but
not. It's a little over a month.
I'm sure you have
a
done
busy
the
calendar between now and then. Yes. A
Because
lot of
you
ground
got to
cover.
do the media circuit
Yes.
as this,
Yes.
and you got to do the ground game
Yes.
and the events, and there's
I have
When
thoroughly
you get into
enjoyed
politics,
meeting so many
yeah,
people.
that is
and it
nice.
has been so encouraging, the support
Mhm.
and the kind words and just offering to help, put up signs like
Yes.
in every county. People that
That's
I've primarily lived. I've always lived in Franklin County. I've
yes,
primarily worked there.
Yeah.
And I might fill in other counties for
Right.
colleagues, but
didn't really
so
get
to
talk
meet
to
all these
everybody.
people and just the outpouring of support and help has been
Yeah.
amazing. So
I like to hear that. I've heard
Mm-hmm.
a few of them say that.
Blunt assessment.
Mhm.
Blunt assessment.
okay.
Do you think you'll get votes that a male would not get?
Well, of course, you always have
Potentially,
that.
but
yeah.
I might get some that
Yeah,
the other way too. There's some.
yeah. There's still
there's
some
probably
people
some-
that
yeah.
think only a man can do
Yes,
it too.
there's
so
a little bit
you
of
gotta
that.
think
So
about
yeah.
that.
hmm
But I get what you're
I
saying.
wouldn't be
A
able
pretty
to
woman
say
can
which.
get.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I would
go either way.
think if you went in for a job interview somewhere, and
Well,
I
now,
went in for a job interview at the
in
same
that-
place you did, who do you think they would hire?
Oh.
I'm laying the cards on the table.
Aren't you though?
Yeah.
That's funny, Papa. But that reminds me though, that's how we become friends with Missy though. You talked about Missy Blevins, like she was on the show like 3 times, and like we build a relationship with her.
She's great.
We get Christmas cards from her to
Yes,
this day,
yeah.
So you do get to meet a lot of
know
people,
people, and yes.
and that's the good part about it.
Right, and the going to the different events, because there's so many counties, and so it's keeping the calendar of all the places to be. The actually going there and the talking to the people is great.
Yes.
You feel like you might spend forever in the car to get
I know,
there.
I know,
So usually
I know.
I don't today, but usually either my husband or a friend drives me so I can
That's smart.
return calls or
Yeah.
emails or whatever.
That's
make use
smart.
of that time. So because there's a lot of time in the car.
I know,
lot of
yeah,
miles.
because gosh, it is a huge
It is.
geographic area.
That's
like,
almost
wow.
too large.
Almost, yeah.
I mean,
It is.
I'm sure you have the wherewithal to handle your responsibilities, but I'm just saying that is taxing
It
Yeah.
is.
to think about.
It's a big campaign.
But you have the 3 offices spread out,
Mhm.
but
That
you've
helps.
got to have a task force in
people.
people in every county.
Right. So if
People
you have
you
good
can
people
trust.
in each of those offices, and then I intend to, obviously it'll take a while, but to be in
Yes.
every court, even child support court,
Yeah,
all general sessions criminal court, just to be there, that keeps you in touch with
does.
what your staff is facing, what people aren't going to be very blunt with you. I
Right.
feel like as the elected DA about what's really going on, but if
Yeah.
you're spending time there as much as possible,
they will
popping
start to
in,
open up.
you'll observe some things that
Yeah.
you wouldn't otherwise observe. Same in the offices. So being present in all
Absolutely.
3 counties in their
Yeah.
offices would be important.
I would think that you are approaching this position with a good feeling because of your experience.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because how many years experience you?
10 years.
10 years just of your private practice.
Well, before,
Yeah.
yes, as an assistant DA for the last 10 years.
Yeah, that was just the last 10 years, but she had her private practice in
Yeah.
Franklin County, so you got more than 10 years of experience, really,
But there are people that decide to run that do not have the experience.
That's true.
So you've got an asset there that the average person does not
I
have.
do agree with that, and I do think voters think about that a lot. I do. In certain things, certain
Right,
areas.
absolutely.
you
Well,
know.
doing what you're doing today, this is not the only stop you'll make
Right.
Right,
in your
right.
efforts, but this has to be a,
This will be her favorite, though.
That's right.
this has to be a good decision of yours to expose yourself to the
Yes.
voters in this area.
does,
Anytime there's an opportunity to do, local TV, local radio,
Yes.
it's great
Yeah.
because it's hard, especially in that
hard.
size district. You can't really go door to door.
No.
People don't really like
No.
that anymore anyway.
It is kind of hard.
Yeah, it's not
It
really.
is,
So
yeah.
trying to go to the community centers, the events, the community like breakfast, things like that,
Yes.
so you can meet as many people at each stop.
That's a
is,
smart way to
the
do
way
it.
to maximize.
I
your
think so,
time
too.
and exposure.
Because they're every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Every weekend there's like at least 4 or 5 events going on,
Exactly,
probably in every
especially
county.
because of all the counties. Yeah, so you
Yeah.
kind of have to spread it out.
You really do.
You don't have but about eight more weeks.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
And it kind of flies by,
It
don't
does.
it?
Yeah, the weeks go by really
the
fast when
events
you're
you
busy.
have are usually on the weekend.
Some, mostly yes. Like on now, the closer we get, the
Yeah.
Saturdays will be full. A lot of the
Yeah.
Friday nights, but
I
a lot
know.
of your senior citizen centers have things during the day,
I
during
had
the
not
week.
thought about that.
They sure do.
And then a lot of your community centers have like their Tuesday night meetings or their Thursday night
yeah.
monthly meetings, and so it's
I didn't think
important to
about
go and
that
talk to
either.
them too. Yeah.
I
Well,
didn't
you're
think
not
about that
running,
one.
Billy.
Yeah.
I know, but I didn't think about
Yeah.
that. Well, I know a lot about politics,
And most
so
of them, like,
I didn't
for
think
you,
about that.
they want to talk to you. They want
They
to hear
do.
what you're about. And
They want
they've
to-
been so gracious and so friendly. We were at one last night, the Lighthouse Senior Citizen Center in Spring City. So
Oh, really?
it was great.
Yeah.
They've got a very vibrant city. They meet every Thursday night for dinner and music, and
Spring-
they have a crowd, like 50
Spring
to 100
City,
people every Thursday
well,
night.
we get love from Spring City. We have
It
quite a
was
few
great.
fans over
Really?
there. Yeah,
We
so
enjoyed it. Yeah.
we like Spring City.
But that's
Ray
just an
County,
example
Oak County,
of,
yeah.
they're all over the
They
district.
are.
And
Probably each county has something, great like that. Ray County, you've got Spring City, Dayton, Evansville. That's 3 towns.
Graysville.
Graysville, yeah, that's 4.
There's Grandview up at the top. There's,
I
all
know,
kinds
I
of
know.
little communities in each, county. So.
People don't think about that either. Think of all the communities.
Well, if you just go to all the fire department breakfast
Yeah.
in this county, keep you
I
busy.
might gain 50 pounds too. They've got all kinds of big breakfasts.
Yeah, it'd be a
don't
bad
they?
time to be on a diet. I'll tell you that. Now, is there anything before we have you play our trivia? Is there any thing you want to say to the viewers and listeners
Sure.
out there?
I have a website, boatlynch.com. I would love for you to go there.
Okay.
There's all kinds of information, a short video. There's a link that you can email me directly. I check that daily. So if you have
That's
questions, those kinds of things. I'm also on Facebook. I
That's
know it's
good.
probably far for a lot of your listeners and viewers to travel, but next Wednesday night, the 22nd, there's just like a meet and greet campaign event in Winchester.
Oh, that's good.
At the coffee shop there in Walnut Hill. So I would love for anybody that wants to come.
Yeah,
I know it's
definitely.
a trip, but and so really just pass the word to your friends and family, and I would certainly appreciate your vote on August 4th, and as a person of faith, your prayers during all of this.
Yeah, I like that. I knew that'd be big with you. Yeah.
You're in the Bible Belt here, honey.
That's true.
That's true.
That is
You're
true.
smart.
Well, not for political reasons, but it's important.
Well,
it's the way I
that
live my
was-
life.
that was
Right.
coming from
Yeah.
your heart.
Yes.
Yeah, you're smart, not
Yes.
fake.
Good deal.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's important to
Yeah.
say there. All right, Pawpaw, we'll bring on the trivia, buddy.
All right. Now, I
You
did
must
not,
enjoy this.
He
Yeah.
does. He loves torturing
I
his
did-
grandson.
I did not prepare these especially for you.
Okay.
Means
I
it
did
must
not
be
know you were
hard.
going to be here.
Today, I
Oh, yeah.
forgot to tell him till yesterday.
A scientist's workroom. What do you call where the scientist works?
Is it a laboratory?
That
Lab.
would be my guess.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's a good lifeline so far. Oh, gosh.
I'm going to leave that one out.
Am I-
First name in cheesecake.
Say what now?
First name in cheesecake. When you go to the store to buy a cheesecake, what brand do you find is being the prominent
Most
one?
popular, maybe? Brand? Like, not the flavor, but the brand.
The brand of who makes it.
God, Lifeline.
I can only think of a style like New York cheesecake or
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
but it's a woman's name and it's two names.
Marie Callender.
That's a good
That's a
guess.
good guess.
That's the chicken pot pie.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I got.
You
I'm
know
sorry.
Sarah.
Oh, Sarah Lee.
Sarah Lee.
Oh, I did. Okay,
there
so
you go.
Sarah Lee cheesecake. So
There you go.
Okay.
that's a tough one, too.
A boat's navigational system.
Boy, what's some clues, folks? I tell you.
A boat's navigational system. If you're out in the ocean, what do you use to determine if there's a submarine following
Oh my
you?
gosh. What do you call it?
You hear the
Boy.
ping. You hear the ping.
Yes. I mean, I can see it, but I cannot. Lifeline. You.
Sonar.
Oh yes. See, I couldn't think of the dang word.
Now this animal is called a nanny or a billy.
Oh, and there's the funniest ones ever to see. A goat.
A goat.
The funniest ones is the fainting goats. I love it.
My grandfather had a brother that raised goats and he ate them.
Ooh.
Listen, goat meat is one of the world's most sought after meats.
Delicacy.
Is it good?
I don't know.
Okay.
Just gonna
I
take your
can't
word for
imagine it
yeah.
being good.
The Tennessee state bird.
Oh, what is it?
They're all over my ramp.
Oh, is it? Shoot.
They mess all over my ramp.
It's either a hummingbird or a mockingbird.
That's exactly what I was just
Yeah,
thinking.
it's
I'm
one of
not
them
sure.
two. isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's one of those two.
Dang it.
But I
Say
can't
the hummingbird,
picture
but I'm not sure.
one of them being
Well-
a state bird.
Is it the mockingbird?
Mockingbird.
Oh, okay. Total guess. I didn't know which one.
Yeah,
I knew
I'm
it was
not
one
kidding.
of them.
I've got them to glory.
Really?
Really? I knew you had a lot of hummingbirds. So that's what was really throwing me
I've
off.
got a lot of squirrels too.
He does. He's not lying.
Now, I worked a crossword puzzle today, and this flower is in it. What is the state flower? 4 letters.
Yeah, that's it.
4
Yes.
letters.
Iris.
Yes.
How'd you know that?
I don't
I
Fourth
don't
grade.
know.
Mr.
Yeah,
Fernandez.
I remember that. That's like one of the very few that I've known that you've
Now this
asked.
last one is the easiest.
I
We
bet.
got the state
I bet.
flower and the state bird. What's the capital of Tennessee?
Oh, Nashville. Well, thank you for allowing us one easy question.
It was easy, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, no, this is how it usually does me, Courtney. If I get a few of them right, get on a roll. Well, these ain't hard
wants to
enough.
humble you.
Yeah, these are not hard enough, are they?
But
That's
you've
too
gotta-
easy.
You've got to bear in mind, I have got to get a segment for sports. I've got a segment of jokes. I've got a segment called Albertology that I have to come up with whatever topic.
Yeah.
And so the trivia, these questions I have to find them everywhere I go.
And I done told you, and as you all know, he won't attempt to use a computer. So it'd make life a lot easier for him. He'd use the dang internet, but he won't.
I missed it because I don't have a newspaper anymore.
Oh, yeah, because the Chattanooga Times, they just do the Sunday paper now, is that correct?
Since March the 25th, I've received 2 Sunday papers.
Oh, well, they're supposed to be doing it.
Last 2 Sundays.
Oh.
Don't know why, but since March the 25th, I've received 2.
Wow.
Well, Chattanooga Times, what's going on, folks?
Not any daily paper, and the daily paper stopped May the 16th.
Now, yeah, that did stop. But I think the Sunday paper is supposed to be coming to you, so you might want to be calling them.
You're on
obviously. Maybe they finally figured it out. Since March, that's pitiful. But yeah, that's where you get a lot of your information. So that's where I'm saying.
Depending on them.
Well, then you're gonna have to let me sit you down one day and show you a few things about the internet. He's so smart. All the things he could see, and you'd love it. You would.
Billy, listen to me. To sign up on the internet cost me $50 a month. To get their laptop cost me $34 a month. That's $84 a month.
Did I say anything about getting it? No, I didn't say to buy it. Of course not. You wouldn't use it enough.
The newspaper cost me $93 for 3 months.
Yeah. I'm saying you can use mine.
Looks like a conversation that's been had before, I think.
Oh yeah, many, many, many times. But I need to let you use mine, is what I'm saying. I didn't mean for you to go out and buy it, because that would be a total waste of time and money. Completely. Well, Courtney, you were a good lifeline.
Well, I appreciate this.
This was some tough one. It is.
Yeah.
You'll have to come back.
I would love to.
More than welcome to come back before if you want to come closer to the election.
That would be great.
Absolutely. You've been a great guest.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
You seem at ease.
Yes.
That's a good thing. It's a good thing.
We try to make you feel welcome.
Thank you. You do.
Thank you. That's why we have the guests do the trivia. I've always said that.
Yeah.
It lets them let their guard down and get comfortable.
Well, we were talking about y'all's ratings going through the roof. I think the whole grandson, grandfather, that's unique.
I think that is, we get told that a lot, yes. And you've talked about that as well, Papa. I do think there's something to that. Yeah.
Well, it's Billy's idea, wasn't mine.
Yeah, to do the show, yeah.
Well, you agreed to it, huh? That's
he agreed to it. He did.
Twisted my arm.
Well, it is a unique thing. It is.
We've been on the radio since 15.
Oh, wow.
We've been doing television
since
220 some odd weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. Our 200th episode was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That one went. Those really went through the roof. I don't even know where it's at now, but it's astronomical.
That's great.
But it blows my mind too. But then I have to tell him, because of course he's not going to see it because he won't use a computer.
He gets texts from the Netherlands and Germany, and he can't read them.
I can't read them. I've yet to figure out the translate button.
Well, you're sure that they're complimentary. So,
I pretend like they are.
Yes, they are.
Now, I've answered a few. I can answer the ones from like Canada, and I've got a few from Ireland. Ireland's people seem to like us, but some of the places, I mean, literally, it's just, you can't read it.
Yeah.
So it's like, dang, how am I going to do this? And I've not mastered it yet, but maybe one day I'll learn how to translate on there. There's got to be a way.
Yes.
Got to be. But definitely thank you for coming by. We've enjoyed having you.
I've enjoyed it, yes.
And you'll have to come back.
I'd love to.
All right, well, good. Well, we'll be right back, folks, after the commercial break with some sports and some good old Albertology. That's all coming up next, right here on the Albert Billy Show. Stay tuned, folks.
Welcome to the Dunlap Mercantile, located in the heart of the beautiful Sequatchie Valley at 15664 Rankin Avenue in Dunlap, Tennessee. Stop in today for some Mayfield ice cream or a cup of community coffee, and if you're interested in renting this venue for your event, call 423-949-2552 Stay tuned to DunlapMercantile.com for concerts and events coming to the Dunlap Mercantile in 2021. God bless.
You need a bank that you can depend on. Here at Citizens Tri-County Bank, we have the most dependable staff that you will ever meet. Call in, you will not get an automated attendant, you'll get a person. But on the other side, we have all the technology that anyone would need, from apps to online banking to bill pay. So please come and grow with us as we're about to celebrate our 50th year. We are the only community bank you will ever need.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Albert and Billy Show here on WUAT Radio and Channel 18 BTC Fiber TV and BTC Fiber YouTube channel. I want to thank our sponsors. I guess I'll save that one for last since we're going to be talking about them a little bit. We want to thank, real quickly, Citizens Tri-County Bank, Bilbrey Insurance, Scotty's, the offices of Emma Boynton, Lisa Wheeler, and Michael Walker. Thanks to all you guys. Thanks to Farm Bureau Insurance, Matt Massengale and his friendly staff down by Putnam Reed Funeral Home in South Pikeville.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to skip that one now because that one, because they're pretty much closed. Nickel Antiques, though, our closest neighbor by far, and they have a great variety of stuff. So if you haven't checked Nickel Antiques out, you really need to, because they got a little bit of everything in here,
Yes.
don't they? Gibbs Pools, State Farm Insurance, Nick Smith and his friendly staff on the bypass. I can't think of the name of that road now.
Railroad Avenue.
There you go. Good job, Papa. And Country Gospel Bluegrass Showcase Sunday. It's Lola's. She's back open right here on Main Street. Collier and Company Realty, Miss Michelle Collier, who's been a guest and a co-host on here. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Cindy Nipper with Remax. She's also a real estate agent. Dexter's Barber Shop, the Butter Dish. And he put, this was just wrote down as Bill Wolf, but I'm assuming it's Lee Station Baptist Church, possibly the House of Hope. But I'm gonna go with, I'll just say both. I'm not sure.
I don't really know which one signed up.
I'm not sure. That's not my writing though. But also Southern Pearl, Florist Home Decor and Gifts. And last but not least, Papa, and we will actually be filming at this location next week. It's the Old Mill Dam Outdoor Adventure. It's on 34 Mule Lane. I like that. 34 Mule Lane out here in Pikeville. Reservations only, so you can camp. You can even stay there, apparently. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to say that for sure. We'll just ask them next week on that one. But you make reservations to do kayaking, canoeing, fishing, and they also have a shooting range that will show all this to you. You can do a 2-hour rental, 5-hour rental, or a 7-hour rental, which takes you all the way from the farm right here to town, like literally right across the street from the radio station tower.
I think they put in right about the mill down. The old mill down.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, makes sense.
So you couldn't put it above it.
No, you couldn't. I think it goes from, the mill down to here if you wanted to.
Yep.
Yeah. And also, of course, they have Campbell's Body Shop and Wrecker Service. That's on Highway 127 up in Cold Springs.
What is that, about 2 or 3 miles north of Pikeville?
Probably so. Tim, Michelle, TJ, Garrett, and Briar, family owned and ran business, and they've been in the business for 40 years.
Wow, 40 years.
I didn't know that. I knew they'd been a while though. 24-hour record service, work on all makes of vehicles, preferred shop. They work with all insurance companies, is what that's saying. So, but you'll get to see that firsthand, folks. It's called the Old Mill Dam Outdoor Adventure, and I think that'll be a fun episode, Pawpaw.
And not everyone gets to float the Sequatchie River.
Right. I think that's Pawpaw's way of saying he's not going to. They're going to have some people there, though, to do that. They did tell me that, so we'll have all that, so people will get to see that.
I wonder what kind of boats they use, because kayaks are dangerous.
Yeah, they have.
You're inexperienced.
True, and they have canoes, but same thing. They can tip over. But I've never tipped over in one. But
I've never been in a kayak or a canoe.
Oh, well, then you don't know, do you?
No.
Well, what's going on in the wide world of sports this week, Pawpaw?
Let me tell you, there's a lot going on. And
well, I'm depressed because my Celtics,
Well, I stayed up and watched that last night.
I couldn't. I had to change the channel.
But first, I want to mention horse racing.
Okay.
The Belmont Stakes was run last Saturday, and the Kentucky Derby winner, Strike It Rich, finished 6th.
No.
But the winner was Mo Donegal, and like I say, the Kentucky Derby winner, they thought they would win at least 2 legs. They held him out of the Preakness. But,
they did, didn't they?
Yeah, but he could not. 6th. If you won the Kentucky Derby, why shouldn't you win again?
You would think so, or you'd think that he would do better than 6th place at least. You think he'd go closer than that.
A horse is a magnificent animal.
That is true. That is very true.
And you watch them with the stamina they've got and the speed that they can run and do all the things they do.
It is incredible, really, isn't it? And a lot of people make money on it.
Horse racing is a big revenue getter for wherever they have the sporting event. Yeah,
definitely.
The NBA playoffs, the finals were held last week.
Painful.
Last night in the final game, well, it was the 6th game. It wouldn't necessarily be the last game.
I thought they'd at least make it go to 7 games.
Well, it being played in Boston.
It should have. They should have won last night.
And the way the game started out, it was like 12-2 or 14-2, and I thought, this is going to be a runaway.
It should have been I don't understand what happened, to be honest with you. I still don't, really.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. The shots that the Golden State Warriors were taking were not hitting.
Yeah,
they were just clunk, clunk, clunk.
Yeah.
I didn't care. It didn't matter who took the shot. It would not go in. And all of a sudden,
they started
falling. And Curry got 34 points. And he was selected as the most valuable player. Rightfully
so. I can't argue with that. He deserves that.
And Tatum was a non-show for
Well, that's what hurt Boston. Their star didn't show up.
But I saw him make a shot once. He's falling down backwards, and he releases that ball and it goes in.
Tatum, yeah. He is extremely good. He's got to learn, though, to show up, especially in a championship series. You got to bring it, obviously, for that. And he didn't bring it last night. He didn't.
And if they had won that game last night, then there would be one more game played later. Probably Sunday.
Yeah, it'd have been at Golden State, and who knows who would have won.
But anyway, basketball is finished.
Yeah.
So now we turn to the Paul Feinbaum show.
I like that show.
I watched it some this week, and one day when I'm watching it, he has a message that he wants people to call in and tell him the greatest play they ever saw in sports.
Wow.
So I read what a lot of people called in. And
okay.
But here's the one that I just wrote one down.
Okay.
This person called in and said, the greatest play I ever saw in person. I got to see Doug Flutie throw the Hail Mary pass.
Oh, well, that is historic for sure.
That's historic.
That is, I don't know what I would think of. I mean, speaking of the Celtics, I think one of the biggest plays was when Dennis Johnson made that steal of the inbounds pass from the Detroit Pistons and threw it to Larry Bird for the winning shot. I remember that one vividly in the old Boston Garden.
Some of the sports figures still do commercials.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen Magic Johnson doing a commercial recently.
Yes, and I saw Larry Bird. Speaking of him, I saw him on some talk show recently.
I saw Larry Bird. The thing about it, it's just like stories that people write. They become classics. Some of those sports figures, they don't lose their popularity.
No, because they're legendary.
Legendary. I guess that's a good word, Billy.
Yeah, and you wonder if they'll ever be. Well, they won't be replaced, but you hope that more superstars are up and coming. It doesn't always happen.
There is a tendency on the part of some sports figures that are sports writers or analysts. They want to compare some of your modern day players to somebody that played many years ago.
It's not fair.
It's not fair because some of those players played before the 3-point shot came into being.
So you can't compare. It's like comparing apples and oranges. You can't do it.
And there was
a time. A lot of pressure on that player too, by the way, to live up to that.
There was a time when taller players could go up and catch a ball before it went in the basket.
Oh, I didn't realize they allowed the goaltending at first.
George Mikan was the man that was doing most of it. And the bigwigs got to thinking, hey, we got to do something about this.
So he's who caused the
He's stopping the other team from scoring.
That's funny.
I'm that old, Billy.
That's funny. I didn't know that. That's funny.
In college baseball, this week.
Oh, that's depressing too.
This week, the World Series at Charles Schwab Field in Omaha, Nebraska. Today,
Tennessee
Arkansas will be playing. They will play the winner of Connecticut and Stanford. We have 4 representatives out of the SEC.
That's impressive. I can't believe Tennessee's not one of them, though.
No, Tennessee was the number one, but the number one didn't get to go to the big show
because they played like crap.
Isn't that something? But
they
anyway,
played like crap.
We have Auburn, we have Ole Miss, we have Arkansas, and we have Ole Miss.
Okay, well, you said Ole Miss already.
Okay, Auburn, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, and Arkansas.
You didn't say Texas A&M. Okay,
there's four teams.
That's impressive, though. Still.
Yeah, for us.
But Tennessee should be one of them.
To stay home.
And they hosted a super regional. They lost to Notre Dame in Knoxville. Twice. I thought.
It was best out of 3, and they lost 2 out of 3.
I'm still shocked over that one. I really am.
Now let me tell you, this will shake you.
Well, great. I'm already shook.
Last week in golf, you don't like golf.
Oh, okay.
But in golf,
I know what you're going to say, though.
The oil-rich sheiks of the Middle East decided to come up with a counterpart of the PGA.
Yeah.
They started their own golf tournaments.
I don't think it's a good thing. It's not seen as one yet.
This is what it's called, LIV Gold. LIV Gold.
Okay.
Last week they held a tournament in England. There were 48 players that signed up to play in that tournament. The least a man drew was $120,000.
Gosh.
That was the very least.
Yeah, wow.
The winner won $4 million.
Dang.
Plus $750,000 for his team finishing on the scoreboard higher than any other team.
Golly day. That's a lot.
$4.75 million for playing 3 days.
So that explains a lot.
The PGA has 4-day playoffs.
Exactly.
Theirs is 3 days. And the next tournament they hold is going to be in Oregon.
Oh,
Oregon.
Wow.
It's going to be in Portland, Oregon. That's a good sized town.
It is. I am shocked by that. It's like they're trying to do the PGA in, or something.
17 players out of the PGA signed up to play.
Oh, no.
And they got suspended from the PGA.
Well, they had to take a stand and do something. That makes sense.
I've heard Phil Mickelson's name repeated.
Mm-hmm.
I've also heard, I want to say, Dennis Johnson.
Really?
That's two. And Bryson DeChambeau and Patrick Reed, they're on board.
With the other.
With the new.
Oh, wow. Just the first name you said is huge. Phil.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So,
he's a big star on the PGA circuit.
So we don't know what's going to happen, but those 17 men that decided to go with the money instead of the steadiness
of
the PGA,
that could end up being a mistake.
But I don't think they'll run out of money.
Well, they shouldn't, no, because they've earned plenty, which is why some of them, I really don't understand why they done it, because they didn't need the money anyway. They're making plenty on the PGA, and the PGA's been around forever, so you have that consistency there that you don't have with a new league. You can't have that yet.
Well, the thing about the new league, it's the oil-rich guys over there in the Middle East, but with them paying out this kind of money for golf tournaments, that may be the reason gas is as high as it is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when you put it in terms like that, it's
okay.
It's silly how much they make, isn't it?
I thought I was through with Nick Saban and the Jimbo Fisher deal.
More on that?
But this week I heard on television that the struggle is still going on, and the A&M side is now saying they want Nick Saban suspended from football.
Wow.
That is serious
Whoa,
stuff.
now that has took a sharp turn.
What next? We'll have to wait and see.
Suspended for how long?
You said suspended. I don't know if that was from one game or one season or
know.
a career. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I heard it on television.
That is wild.
So
we'll
it's
have to keep up with that one. I knew it wasn't over, and it's not going to be over for a good while, but I didn't know that they threatened that.
Saban said that he was sorry that he singled out Fisher and Deion Sanders. But he said, I'll stand by what I said. There's dishonesty going on, and players are being paid money. But he made the statement that Texas A&M paid every one of their players. And that,
he did say that.
And Jackson State
he did
paid $1 million to one player.
Yes, and he I guess that's a slam at Deion Sanders being the coach, because like I said when you first told me this, Jackson State is a small school. I assure you they're not paying players $1 million.
UTC?
Yes, they ain't paying players $1 million. I told you, if that's happening, then Deion's paying them out of his money, because he's rich.
Deion said, I just make $1 million. No, he said, I don't make $1 million a year.
Yeah, I'm sure he don't at Jackson State.
All right, we're ready for Albertology.
All right, good old Albertology. People are like potatoes, is what I see.
I read this somewhere. There's only one country in the world that is ruled by an emperor and an empress.
Oh.
What is that in the country?
Gosh, I would have no clue.
Japan.
Well,
they still have an emperor, and his wife is the empress.
What about that?
I would not have thought that there were any more emperors left.
No, not really. Especially, I mean, Japan, they're pretty peaceful now. Have been for years, so I guess it works there. They're not, they must not be like dictators or anything like that.
I never could figure out why Japan chose to want world dominance with no bigger than they are.
I don't know why any country decides to do that, because they should know, just from history alone, it's not going to work out for them in the long run.
Well,
It's gonna
they
come
caught
back
the
to
United
bite 'em.
States off guard
They did.
on December the 7th, 1941,
They
because
did.
we were not primed and cocked and ready to
Mhm.
combat what they did.
Wasn't expecting it.
And so the World War II lasted 4 years,
Yeah.
and it took a lot of lives.
But Japan. But since then, though, I mean, they've been really peaceful. So
Yeah.
the emperor and empress, they must not be like too bad. They must not be dictators or anything like that.
See, Hitler came in power, and
Yeah, for Germany.
and
yeah.
he was a dictator.
Big time. Big
Big
time. Mhm.
And he wanted, and what I couldn't understand is how he duped the
Mhm.
people of Germany to go along with his white supremacy movement, and he wanted the Germans to be a super race.
He did. I'll tell you how. Misinformation's how he pulled that off.
But he wanted
They
to
were
get
lied
rid
to.
of the Jews.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yes, I
understand
did.
that.
I never really heard why.
6 million Jews lost their lives because of that one man.
Yeah. Yeah. Evil is definitely not a good enough word for him. He's one of the evilest men that ever lived.
Okay, people are like taters. Listen to this. Some people are very bossy and like to tell everyone what to do.
Yeah.
But of course they do not wish to soil their own hands. You might call them dictators.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Some people never seem to be motivated to ever participate.
Yeah.
They're content just to watch while others do. They're called spectators.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people never do anything to help, but they're gifted at finding fault with the way others do things. We call these commentators.
A lot of taters.
Some people are always looking for ways to cause problems.
Yeah.
They look for others to agree with them that it is too hot or too cold or too sour or too sweet. You call them agitators.
Boy, not the truth.
Then there are those who always say they will, but somehow never get around to doing anything. We call them hesitators.
Yeah.
Some people put on a front and act like they are someone they are not.
Mhm.
They're called imitators.
Ooh, yes, that's a good one.
Still, there are those who live what they talk. They're always prepared to stop what they're doing to lend a helping hand.
Mm.
They bring real sunshine into other people's lives. You might call them sweet-taters.
That's pretty good.
Here's the ending.
Okay.
Lord help us to know what kind of tater we are.
Yeah, I want to be around more of the sweet taters.
Elvis.
Elvis Presley.
There's a new movie coming in June the 24th. That's next week.
Oh, cool.
And it's about how quickly Elvis rose to fame and fortune.
It was pretty fast paced, wasn't it?
He's got a manager, and it's Tom Hanks in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is the name of the movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, okay.
And the Austin Butler is the one that's going to play
Elvis. And I've never heard of him. Was this his breakout role?
But this is not the first movie that's been made about Elvis.
Oh, yeah.
Kurt
There's been
Russell
many.
in 1979,
Mhm.
Jack White in 2007,
Mhm.
Michael Shannon in 2016, David Keith in 88,
Gosh.
Don Johnson in 81, Tyler Hilton in 2005,
Man, a lot.
Harvey, this is number 7, Harvey Keitel in 98, Val Kilmer in 93, and Bruce Campbell in 2002.
Wow.
That's how many.
I didn't know that there's that many about his life.
I did not realize there'd been 9 movies,
No.
and this will be 10.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
He was a legend.
Oh, that hands down. Hands down,
He
one of the biggest ones.
he created a different atmosphere for music.
He changed it. He changed it forever.
He made there's 5 movies here that I want to mention.
Mhm.
He made 2 in 1 year.
Well, yeah, he was also a good actor.
Well, they cashed in on his popularity.
They sure did. They sure
He
did.
made 2 of them in 57. He made 30 altogether, but I've just got
Gosh.
5 or 6 here.
Man.
He made Jailhouse Rock in 57.
Yeah, that's a popular one.
Loving You, it was also in
popular.
57. Then he made King Creole in 59.
Okay.
He made Blue Hawaii in
That's a
61.
popular one for sure.
That's probably
That
one
might
of
be the
better
most
known,
popular
I
one.
think.
Yeah.
Viva Las Vegas was in 64.
Yeah, that's a big one too. Yeah. I guess those were the most popular ones, maybe.
I just picked out a few.
Oh, well, I know the last 2 are definitely the most popular ones, I would think.
This week I was watching John Hagee preach on television.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time it's his son that preaches, but I'd rather hear John.
Yeah, then the
John
son,
Hagee
yeah.
was preaching, and here I wrote down what he said. He said, "This week I saw on a truck, born to fish, forced to work." Born to fish, forced to work.
That would be a good T-shirt right there.
Ask Marilyn.
What's Miss Smarty Pants got to say today?
And I've thought about this. The question that someone posed for her is, why is Europe and Asia listed as separate continents? I can find no division between the 2 continents
Really?
on the map.
I've never once thought of that.
This is her answer. Think about water. Usually you think about water as being the dividing line
Yes.
between continents.
Absolutely.
The Ural Mountains plus the Caucasus Mountains have long been considered to mark a distinct boundary between Europe and Asia.
Okay.
Yet our 7-continent model is only one of many standards taught around the world, mostly due to history and cultural preference. She says a 6-continent model is preferred by most geographers. Those people that studied geography figure that Europe and Asia is one continent.
Wow. And that's why?
Another combines North and South America as one continent.
Oh, wow.
So
But-
they leave Europe and Asia separate. But all the time I went to school, there were
Oh,
7 continents, and I don't think we ought to change it.
No, I think it's time to leave well enough alone. I do.
All right.
People are getting sick and tired of all that
In
crap.
the Iowa State Fair coming up in August,
The Iowa State Fair?
they
Okay.
have a sculptured cow made out of butter.
I see that.
And it weighs 600 pounds. There's 600 pounds of butter in that sculpture.
Good Lord.
And it's a cow.
That's pretty cool. I don't
They
get it,
expect 2 million people to come to that fair in St. Paul, Minnesota.
but- Oh, it's in St. Paul, Minnesota?
Well, now, Iowa State Fair,
How come
it's held in Des Moines.
Okay. That's
Well, now,
it's first mistake you
Oh.
made all day, right?
well, listen, at this year's Minnesota State Fair,
Oh, it's the Minnesota State
in St.
Fair.
Paul, more than 2 million people and 500 food items are expected.
Gosh. Wow. So we do confirm it's the Minnesota State Fair,
Minnesota.
where you can see the giant butter cow.
This is Albert saying,
Oh,
if
gosh.
I had known, and I'm 87, for those of you who don't know how old I am, if I had known I was going to live this long, I would have taken better care of myself.
you took good care of yourself. Your biggest, you're a little bit stubborn, but but I
People
always
say
tell
I'm
it.
stubborn.
They say it for a reason. But you seem a lot younger than what you are, though, and people tell you that all the time.
Here's some jokes.
Jokes, all right.
While waiting in the checkout line at a paint store, a lady customer held up a yardstick and asked the clerk, "Do you have these in a larger size?"
Shoot.
Yardstick is a pretty standard measure. If
Poor idiot.
If you got anything larger than that, you need a tape measure. A first grader called his mom, and he was at his friend Charlie's house, and he said, "Mom, I broke a lamp over at Charlie's house, but don't worry about a thing. You don't have to replace it," because his mom said that it was an irreplaceable lamp.
Oh, God. Like that makes it any better.
Here's a redneck dictionary.
Oh, God. This is
Benign. That's what you want to hear if you got a cancer.
Yeah, right.
But benign is what comes after you B8. Artery is the study of paintings. Bacteria, back door of the cafeteria. Redneck,
I reckon so.
a Caesarean section is a neighborhood in Rome. Dilate, listen to this, dilate,
Yeah.
it means to live long.
That's pretty good.
Fibula is a small eye.
They make sense.
GI Series, World Series with soldiers. Hangnail,
Oh, God.
what you hang your coat over.
Oh, that makes sense.
Labor pain, getting hurt at work.
Oh, yeah. They all do make sense, don't they?
And nitrates, cheaper than day rates.
Those were good.
How come? This came out of Reader's Digest.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Emily.
Thank you, Emily.
How
It's
come it
been a while
takes-
since I've said it.
How come it takes so little time for a child who is afraid of the dark to become a teenager and want to stay out all night?
Yeah. Good observation.
Most teenagers.
It's some
are somewhere.
things called hormones.
I couldn't possibly be happier right now.
Now this was an epic Facebook comeback, it says.
Yeah, wait till you hear the comeback on
Oh,
it.
okay.
I couldn't possibly be happier right now. For the first time in my life, a girl told me that she loved me. Aren't moms great? Mom is a girl.
Yeah, that's a real good comeback.
I couldn't understand why my son was so outraged by his friend drinking out of the hose.
Mm-hmm.
What's the big deal?
Right.
Mom, he puts his mouth on it and it's disgusting. But why do you care so much? I drink out of that hose.
Shoot.
I was
stole his idea.
playing a guessing game with my 4-year-old grandson. The clue,
Mhm.
it's something your mom uses to clean with. And of course the correct answer is a broom.
No.
The little 4-year-old boy said, a cleaning lady?
Ooh. Smart answer. Must have a rich mama.
Yeah. My coworker was very excited at the prospect of becoming an American citizen. She had passed her test and she went for an interview. I just have one more thing to do, she said. I have to go to the courthouse in a few weeks and swear at the judge.
Yeah, that'll go over real smooth, won't it?
Here's a picture of this man and his wife walking with a gas can.
Gosh.
He's going to go get gas.
Well, they look really mad.
And she says, I told you the tank was half empty, but you said, no, it's half full. Now this is
I
people,
get why she looks mad then, I guess.
this is people that have those modern fancy telephones. Mom was texting her daughter and she said, I think I keep getting messages or missed calls or something. And the daughter said, well, from whom? She said, someone called Betty Lowe. And her daughter said, "Oh, you mean battery low?" "Oh, that's it." That would be me.
That would be. I was sitting there thinking that would so be you. Trying to use an iPhone or something.
Now
Or an Android.
Listen closely to this. A consultation with her doctor before having surgery. The friend wanted to consult with the doctor, and she said, "My husband wants me to ask you before surgery when I will be able to," and the doctor interrupted her, and he said, "I get asked that question quite frequently." And he leaned in and he said, "You have to wait at least 6 weeks." She said, no, what he wants to know is when I'll be able to cook for him."
I'm sure the doctor wasn't expecting that question. You got another. This be our life. You can
All
do
right.
one more, yeah. Man
This
of the
won't
hour.
this won't be real funny, but boy, it carries an impact.
Oh wait, it's not a joke. Well then,
It's a joke, but it's
Okay.
it's not real funny. When our car overheated in the middle of nowhere, the local tow truck driver hauled us into town saying he was in a hurry, but it was Good Friday, and everyone was going to church, and
For an
here
Easter pageant.
he knew that he had to get their car pulled down and get it fixed.
yeah.
So there's an Easter pageant going on at the church.
right.
So despite being in a rush,
Mm-hmm.
the driver found the right thermostat for our car and fixed our problem. While he worked, we sat in the office with his wife and kids,
Mm-hmm.
and they were growing increasingly impatient because church starts at a certain time.
Oh yeah.
And his family was definitely late for church, but the driver shrugged it off and he said, "They can't start without me. I'm playing Jesus."
Actually, that is pretty funny. He's doing a real good act of kindness.
I'll give you one more to close on a laugh.
Okay, yes, that's the goal here. yeah.
After learning her friend had broken his arm, my 5-year-old daughter insisted on drawing him a picture.
Okay.
So she sat at the table for an hour, coloring carefully, then handed me a piece of paper. "Well, it's very pretty," I said. "I bet this will make him feel better." She smiled, and I wrote him a letter on the back. So she turned the paper over to look at the back,
Mm-hmm.
and it was covered in random letters and scribbles. 4 years old.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And so the mother said, "What does it say?" "How would I know? I can't read."
At least he was honest. That's pretty slick right there. I don't know.
But I wrote him a letter.
That's pretty good. Those were all good. You got the streak alive. To keep it alive.
I think those are pretty good.
You've been on a roll here the last few months of the jokes. Well, we want to thank our guest, Courtney Lynch, for being here with us today.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for listening to us here on WAT Radio and watching us on Channel 18 BTC Fiber TV and their YouTube channel. If you do want to go to the YouTube channel, because I got asked this, all you got to do is you go to YouTube and type in BTC Fiber. That's it. It's really easy. Or you can even type in BTC Fiber YouTube. It's really easy, and that'll take you right to it. And all the original shows are on there, and it's as simple as that. And be sure to hit like, leave a comment if you want to, as long as it's nice. We appreciate those a lot better. But thanks for joining us today, folks. Hope you have a great week, and we'll see you guys next week for another edition of the Albert and Billy Show.
See you later,
folks. Hey folks, Albert and Billy here. You're watching us on Channel 18 BTC Fiber. Check us out on BTC Fiber YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and like. And check out our Facebook page. Be sure to like and share. Thanks everybody for watching.